He left home at 10 in the morning. By 3 in the afternoon, he thought he was back from an ordinary trip. But when he walked through the door, his family was crying because to them, he had not been gone for a few hours. He had been missing for 3 months. Today's story is about a man, a mountain in Indonesia, and a stretch of lost time that still doesn't make sense.
Welcome back. Tell me the crime. Episode 9, I believe.
Yeah,
yes. 9. New episodes every Friday. So,
this is our 9th Friday.
9th time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is
wow.
Time flies so fast.
Time flies.
But we have been doing it for 9 weeks in a row now, which is awesome. So, well, aside from that one time that I screwed up and missed 1 week and then had to double up.
You doubled it up.
We're good. Yeah, we're doubled up. We're caught up. So, okay. So tell me about this quote unquote crime, because you said it's not quite a crime. You weren't even sure if you wanted to do it because you said, I don't know if it's a crime.
I gave him a hint. This is not a crime.
It's not really a crime. It's kind of like a horror, she said. So I was thinking like, okay, well, yeah, like just do it. Let's hear what it is. What's the horror / not crime? Let's hear it.
Okay, so the title is Lost for Hours, Missing for 3 months.
Ooh, okay.
What will be your guess from my title?
Lost for 3 hours, missing for
3 months.
3 months. Okay. Huh. That, I mean, maybe a little kid went missing.
And then found after 3 months?
Yeah. Maybe like the parents, I don't freaking know. Who fucking knows? Let's start. Give me some more hints.
The hint is the setting of this story is in one of the beautiful mountains in a tropical place.
Okay. Beautiful mountains in a tropical place. That is not a hint. That doesn't tell me shit.
Hey, I always give you the best cues.
You do. You really do.
The
clearest cues.
Ever.
Okay. So that's a super clear one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear what else you got for me.
Yeah. So the setting is in Mount Salak.
Mount Salak. Is this like another? Yeah. Is this an Indonesian
nice
place?
One. Yeah. I did not tell him about this.
No.
How do you know?
Oh, it sounds Indonesian.
How do you know?
Well,
are you speaking Indonesian?
It's weird, right? It's almost like I have a wife who's Indonesian. Weird that I would recognize sounds and names that are Indonesian.
Yeah. Actually, salak is the name of fruit. Translated into English, I think it's snake fruit. Have you ever got one?
I think I actually have. I can't remember what it is, though. I've had a lot of exotic fruits, just because I always try new shit, you know?
I don't think you ever have the
snake. I don't know. It sounds... Snake what does it look like?
Not dragon fruit, okay? It's completely different from there.
Okay. Well, they're both kind of reptiles, right?
I know, you always play that. Like, you associate something with whatever cue that I gave you before.
Exactly.
No,
okay.
Those two kinds of fruit, they're super different.
Okay.
All right. So the setting is Mount Salak. The setting is in Mount Salak. The mountain where people usually go hiking. That's just one of the sites, so it's very beautiful.
Okay.
I've never done that because I was scared of doing this kind of challenge, hiking in a mountain. Okay.
Hiking in a mountain, that sounds fun to me, though.
Oh, you gotta try it. I'm not gonna join, thank you.
Okay. You'll be down on the beach somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I did it once, actually.
There you
but
go.
It's not that this kind of long trail, because in Indonesia, if you go hiking, you can go miles, and people do hiking for days.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I understand what the 3 hour or like the couple hours to 30 days.
What?
Well, going the wrong path up a mountain you probably, go 3 hours in the wrong direction and then you end up 3 months lost. I mean,
we'll see.
That's what
your
it
theory
sounds
is
like. Okay.
right.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay. So the story today, it is not about violence, I think, at least.
It's not about violence. Okay.
This is about a guy named Edo.
Edo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was in his early 20s. He was living around Bogor in Indonesia. So Bogor is in West Java.
Okay.
Okay. And at that time, he had just gone through a breakup. Okay. So for him, it was a huge thing. And he said that it's not like a casual breakup because this person was somebody that he had been with for years.
Right. Okay. So it didn't happen. Like he didn't expect it. Is that what you're getting at? Okay.
He did not expect it. Now, because he had that breakup, he was very depressed. He was mentally unstable. And maybe he was not thinking clearly, right? So what do you think if someone is in that state? What would the person usually do?
If the person is in
that kind of situations, like in a, you just had
you just have like a really bad break. I mean, you're going to be in a pretty bad mind space or mental head space, so it's
and you want to escape, right?
You want to escape, of course.
You don't want to face the reality.
Yeah, so going up a mountain alone on a trip actually sounds probably pretty nice in that mindset.
Yeah, so that's what he was actually doing. He's already not in a good state, and then he decided to go back to a place that he remembered from when he was younger. There is this waterfall, the waterfall trail near Mount Salak.
The problem is, though, is when you're in a really bad mental headspace, your decision-making skills are kind of hindered.
10 out of 10?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Yep, you got it. Always do it, guys. Go run off into the dark alleys, everything. Yeah.
Is that a guy's thing?
No. I mean, no, I'm being sarcastic, bro. Like, come on.
I want to know. Maybe that's a guy's thing?
No.
Okay, no.
No. All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so he decided to go back to a place that he remembered that he liked visiting when he was younger, a waterfall trail near Mount Salak. Okay.
Yep.
And because Mount Salak is known for the dense forest, the confusing terrain, and it also has a lot of stories about people getting lost.
Okay.
Not just physically lost, but like disoriented in a deeper way. And even before,
how high is this mountain? Like,
that's a good question.
Is it like a really tall one, or is it like
the elevation?
I mean, mountains are by definition tall, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the elevation is 2,211 meters, which is 7,000 something feet.
Wow, that's high. That's very high.
So do you want to go hiking?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, no, the pressure change definitely makes people lightheaded and hard to breathe up at that altitude.
Yeah, and this mountain had eruptions several times.
Oh, so it's a volcano, not just a mountain. Okay, damn.
So how do you define mountains here? Like it's
a mountain is just like a big hill. Yeah, it's just a big hill. Like,
it's not that.
Like I mean, mountains are very, very tall hills, right? Essentially, but a volcano is the one that can erupt with like lava and all that,
course,
right? Like, but not every mountain has that, right? So
no, there is the non-active volcano, but also still high. Okay. So yeah, he was not in a great state. He wanted to visit his favorite place. And here, the location matters, okay?
Okay.
When he was a teenager, he used to go there with his friends. And on the way to the waterfall, they would pass through a small village. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you can imagine, if there is this village near the mountain, it's usually quiet. And the people in the village, they probably know each other. They're usually very friendly, they're very outgoing, they help each other. So that's very typical villagers in Indonesia.
Well, you said that's pretty, I mean, that like Indonesians in general are a very kind.
Yeah, they're friendly.
Just very friendly people.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're nice people. Okay, and he remembered something very specific. Okay, so sometimes the older man in that village would call out to him and his friends when they were younger, and offer their daughters to walk with them as guides.
As guides? Mm-hmm. Okay.
To go hiking in the trail or to go to the waterfall trail.
So wait, who was asking the daughters? Wait, what? Sorry, maybe my ADHD.
So the older man in that village.
Yeah, okay.
The older man in that village sometimes talk to them, so him and also his friends. And they also talk, hey, if you need any help, my daughters can.
Oh, my daughters can. Okay,
yeah,
sorry,
my daughters
I
can,
misheard that, yeah. Okay.
Walk with you, and
Right.
My daughters, they could guide you, basically. Okay?
Yep.
But that's just a random detail anyway. That detail, though, stuck with him. So the story is, at that time, he just had a really bad breakup. And he wanted to escape. And then he wanted to go to the waterfall trail. And he remembered that it's this one small village, and his memory went back to the older man in that village and all that.
With the two daughters, yeah. Okay.
And after his breakup, he said he didn't want to talk to his male friends anymore because they would just tell him to move on. It's maybe like the feeling of being judged if I tell people about my situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gets to a point sometimes where people just get tired of hearing the same story.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is unfortunate because, like, it's not going to stop the person from feeling that pain, But I get it, though. Sometimes it's just, you can only complain for so long. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so I guess a lot of people probably experience the same thing, but like different sources of breakup. And this guy thought maybe talking to someone unfamiliar would feel easier for him.
Yeah, right? Definitely. Oh,
like,
of course.
You just talk to
especially
a stranger.
Right. Well, yeah, it's easier because you won't be judged for anything that you say because you're not going to know them. Like you probably won't see them again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also they wouldn't have heard the story a 1,000 times. So they wouldn't get annoyed. Yeah.
Okay. So he decided to go to that small village. He takes public transportation and then he walks through the village.
Okay.
When he gets there, he says that the place looks exactly the same. Not just similar. He emphasized it. It's exactly the same as when he was a teenager. Okay.
Right.
So the same layout, the same atmosphere, the same feeling.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's already weird in itself. I don't know.
Well, what about the scene was exactly the same? Was it like, something eerie where like a barrel of hay or something or whatever, some twigs were like in a specific, orientation or something that just really stood out? Or
no, for him it was more like, oh, I've been here before and I think it's just the same thing, like
kind of like a deja vu minute.
Yeah, like re-experiencing something.
Okay,
so that's why like everything is exactly the same.
Okay.
And then this is where it gets really strange. The older man that he used to see when he was younger calls out to him and also asks him where he's going. And he says that, oh, I'm heading to the waterfall. Okay. So the man offers his daughter to accompany him.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm not sure if it's real or not real in terms of seeing that man, and the man offers him and tell him that, hey, my daughter can accompany you. Okay. I don't know. Okay. But that's what he shared. Anyway. So because time changes places, to him it felt like stepping back into a memory. So as you said, it's probably just deja vu.
Yeah, could be. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is where it gets really, really strange again.
So was what this old man, it was the same old man.
The same old man.
And the same daughter, well, one of the two daughters. But was there anything about them that was the same? Like, was it like
he
the
was just
same?
thinking that everything was just the same. Like
the daughter's age and everything too? So the
Yeah.
daughter's age was apparently the same and the old man was the same. And you'd think that maybe the old man had passed away at that point because you were a kid, right? Yeah. So, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Same interactions with him as well. Instead of questioning, like when you feel something weird, you were like, "Hey, what's going on? Am I dreaming or something?" Right? But he did not do that. He just accepted it. Like, yeah, like
yeah. That's kind of strange too. If everything turns out exactly the same way, and it's like, wow, I did this exact sequence of events and these exact same conversations. That could be a little weird. Okay.
So he walks with the daughter, and this part is very normal, like very human. I give a cute human. Okay, so very human.
Okay.
He tells her everything about the breakup, how lost he feels. All of it. And she was there and she was just listening. But she did not give any advice. She did not react. She was just listening.
Yeah.
So it's like
a sounding
you're talking
board.
exactly.
You're talking to a wall. Yeah,
like you're talking to a wall.
Yeah. Okay.
But there is somebody that's listening to you.
Yeah, which is sometimes all you need though, right? Like sometimes you just want to be heard and that's it.
Yeah, but I have to actually tell you something from the Indonesian perspective, like this kind of thing.
Okay.
So if it's in the mountain, people there believe, well, not all people, but some people, especially maybe villagers who live in a mountain, they believe that mountain is a sacred place.
Yeah, okay.
Because it indicates, they probably have some worship or something and associates the place with the highness,
right? Something
like that.
So is it disrespectful to be speaking on
No,
the
it's not
mountain,
about the disrespect of speaking to her or to him. But the hint here is he probably was not a human. So from how this daughter reacted when he was talking to her, she did not react at all. It's like you have a company, but that company does not act like...
So she wasn't acting like a human, you're saying. Okay, yeah. Okay. So she's just acting weird as if like she can't hear him or something, or as like a ghost?
As like a ghost.
Okay.
All right. So now the shift. But then he leaves. Okay. So after some time, I don't know how they... parted ways, but then he leaves, and then that's when things start to feel off. At first, he just cannot find the path back, so he went he went hiking, and then he put like some trails, to give a sign. Okay, I'm gonna go back.
You put some markers on like trees or something,
but he just cannot find the path back. Okay, and then it gets so worse. So the surrounding do not look familiar anymore.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to get lost in big mountains like that, though.
And the route doesn't match what he remembers. But usually in a mountain where it offers some hiking trails, they usually have the signs, right? Now this guy, he could not see any signs. And this mountain is where people go hiking. One of the mountains, okay? So he expected, and he was there before, so he expected to see the common signs as he did hike before.
Okay. So he's not like it's his first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says it feels like he's walking, but not really going anywhere.
It sounds like the guy was like he was high or something, like he's potentially like you say.
That's not something legal.
It could be, right, but I'm not saying it's necessarily drugs.
Yeah,
I
know.
I'm saying that it could be that he's up on a mountain and the pressure change and the lack of oxygen to the brain could lead to hallucinations.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? So
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
Confusion and hallucination.
This is based on some myth and what people believe,
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm not very sure what the real story and the fact is.
Right,
because
right.
this guy actually came back and then he told the story to people. Okay? Okay, so he could not find the path back, and at some point he also sees an old woman sweeping.
Sweeping? Like on a mountain?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. He was definitely hallucinating. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a ghost, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but I don't know. I don't rule it out. It's kind of like one of those things. Where it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility for sure. But we never know. Like you can never really tell unless you actually see one. And then even then you're like, well, was that just a hallucination? Am I schizophrenic or
a real ghost?
Exactly. Yeah.
So he sees an old woman sweeping on a mountain, and he asks her for directions. And she does not really respond normally, just like the daughter. You know?
Okay.
And she just points, like, when you ask me for directions, there, babe. There.
Yeah, oh my God, you're the worst at directions.
But I point.
Where? No, you don't point. You don't point. You're just like, over there. Like, where?
Over there, right here. Yeah.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah, so
okay,
she
but
just points anyway.
I get it, though. There's some sort of auditory information that you're getting, right? Like, you're vocal at least, right? Like, no one's going to just point without saying anything, unless they're mute or like, or deaf
but
or
this
whatever.
old woman, she did not speak any word. She only pointed the directions that he could go.
But at least she was responding, unlike the first person, the girl
that was
who was
not
just
responding.
like not doing anything.
And then after that, this old woman goes back to sweeping again. It's really weird, like sweeping in the mountain.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
But I could picture that though in my head.
Yeah, me too.
Like based on the movies that I have watched. Anyway.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Okay.
It does remind me of like a horror film. Like
God.
you just walking up a mountain and like the creepy like violin background music and I don't know, like the off tune kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so he follows the direction that she pointed out. Anyway, and eventually he reaches a road, but it's not where it should be. Okay, so he realizes he's in a completely different area than expected, much farther than it should be.
Right.
But he's super tired, he doesn't question it too much, and he just goes home.
So how did he get home from there if he didn't know where he was?
I have no clue. He was just following the path. He was just following the road. And he left around like 10 a.m. He gets home around 3 p.m.
Okay.
So for him, it's just been about 5 hours.
Yeah.
That's based on what he shared, like the story that he shared to people. Okay. He walks into his house and his mom is crying.
Because he's been gone for 30 hours, right? Or was it 3 days?
For 5 hours.
Oh,
according to him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right.
And his mom is crying. It's like grieving crying, not the relief crying.
Yeah.
And he was confused, like, why are you crying like that? You know, what's wrong? I'm here, I'm at home. And then she tells him, you've been gone for 3 months.
Whoa, 3 months.
Yes, you've been gone for 3 months.
I thought I was misremembering. I thought you said 3 days or something.
No.
3 months. Oh
3
my
months.
God. Wow.
So his family thought that he was dead.
Holy shit.
But he just came back home. And he thought that, why?
How did he survive that long? If like, that's the thing, right? If he was actually gone for 3 months, where, like, how is he eating and getting, getting water and all that? Like, that's,
This is something, though, about the myth.
Okay.
I'm not sure. There are a lot of versions of the myth, but mountain is something that's a place that's very sacred. And some other hikers also had the experience of getting lost and just going around and around and around in the mountain. And one of the reasons that they admitted was they did something inappropriate. The examples, okay? So there is this group of hikers that so one of them took an alcohol. Okay, because of the belief in that place, they thought that if I take an alcohol, then the guardians
The gardens of
the
what?
guardians of the
Guardians.
mountains.
Oh, okay.
The guardians of the mountains.
Oh, so they're taking like alcohol to the guardians as like a gift or something?
No,
or
they drink the alcohol. They drink it. But according to their beliefs, it's alcohol is something restricted.
Oh, okay.
Like the society believes you don't get drunk, basically, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, in like Indonesia in general?
Not in general, but like in villages like that.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. Like, I'm going to go there and get wasted, and people are going to be like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
Exactly. But that's an example from this group of hikers, okay? So one of them just took an alcohol, and they said that they did not do anything appropriate, and then they got the consequence in the mountain. So, for example, they got stranded by whatever superpower that they thought because of that.
Because like some spirits were punishing them or something, right? So according to the spirits, they broke some rules, and because of that, they're being punished. So can that be the crime in this story? Right?
That's the crime.
Like maybe
like
the
between human and non-humans. I don't know.
Yeah.
And another example is so I don't know if I can give this example.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it anyway. I want to hear it. You can't tell the listeners that and then not say it.
How do I frame it?
Go on, spit it out, bro. Let's hear it.
Okay, boys and girls relationship, for example, right? You cannot kiss your partner in public, something like that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or you cannot do something wrong in that setting. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it also
you can't have sex. Is that what you're trying to avoid saying? Like I feel like you're trying to avoid saying like sex or like penis or something like that. And I'm like, dude,
babe.
like, oh, babe, that doesn't exist. Right. Let's talk about only things that are PG, right? We're on a fucking crime podcast, bro. Like, people are going to be okay with it.
Okay, yeah. Yes, something like that. Okay? So that would be considered like breaking the rules in that sacred place anyway.
Okay.
So the spirit will be really angry with them and all that. So they will receive the consequences. A related story to this one too, by a group of hikers who also got lost. They were experiencing listening to the traditional music from the ancient kingdom in Indonesia. So they saw like the old ladies sweeping and they were dancing kind of thing like in the mountain,
Interesting.
So there's that kind of thing. I'm a little bit scared of telling you about it. I will not go out of this room without you. Oh my God,
yeah. Well, right before we started this podcast, I love that I just like rat you out as soon as we start this. But no, she was in the kitchen and you're like, babe, talk to me, okay? Because like you were alone in the kitchen after reading this story right out there. And I was like, okay, what is this? Well, you and your ghosts. Yeah.
I don't know. We have the term called merinding.
Merinding?
Yeah, it's like you got the goosebump.
Okay.
But you cannot tell why. But you kind of feel, somebody's watching you.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. When I think there's the saying is like when your hair stands up on your neck or something.
Yeah.
And
remember the time when I was in the kitchen and you were working upstairs and I was cooking.
Okay.
And suddenly the TV...
Oh shit! That was creepy. Actually, I was
that
terrified
creepy or not? I was
really
terrified. I thought you went down because I was literally
because
cooking.
You started calling me and I was like, what? And you're like, oh, like did you? I can't remember what you said, but it was something like, oh.
Did you switch on the TV? I was yelling at you because sometimes you're that
I thought
guy.
You were downstairs listening to the TV, and I was like, okay, well, like, what's going on? And it just switched on. I heard it switch on too.
It just switched on, and then you went down, and then we met right in front of the stairs. And we can see that TV from that, and it's just switched off.
But the thing, I know that was actually bad. That was creepy too. That part that it just switched off, but. It could just be some random frequency that was like from some controller, some phone or something that just like bounced off of another, building or who knows. Like it could just be something, right?
Yeah. Because you would not just go down and sit in front of the TV without talking to me usually.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
I know.
really weird. Like he was.
Because I need permission, guys, because she doesn't allow me to watch TV without her.
No, that's not real.
No, I know.
No, so I was very surprised. But yeah.
Okay.
Going back to that story. That is the myth.
Okay.
Not sure if it involves some kind of crime between human and non-human, but some people have the belief you have to respect the place where you are. You have to be human. You don't throw.
You don't be disrespectful,
anywhere.
right?
Like
exactly.
You respect the nature. That's basically it. You know, you respect the nature in every way. So if you go camping, you have to be responsible for your. Maybe that's actually the moral values of that, but I don't know how people could get the consequence of that supernatural.
Right. So is what you're getting at then? This idea that he went missing for a long time and people speculated that he might have done something wrong and he was punished for it by some spirits or something. And like, is that what people are getting at?
Well, people are getting at is they really didn't know what happened to him. They did not get any news, but they knew that, he probably went somewhere with his friends because he didn't tell anybody, right, about the breakup yet.
Yeah.
So he probably was just trying to escape for a little bit, but I had no clue how he could survive for those 3 months because in his mind, it's not 3 months. It's just a couple hours.
But here's going to be me playing devil's advocate and just trying to give rational explanations.
Yeah,
right?
I want you to do that.
And here's actually where it could be. Like, I'm just going to make up something, right? But it could be, like, here's where a crime could come in, right? Like, let's say that it's actually probably more likely that he just fell and hit his head. But because, like, if you fall and you hit your head or someone comes up behind you and smacks you on the head with a giant log or something, maybe that's what happened to all these people, right? So some criminal. No, I don't actually believe that. But maybe they just knocked their head, fell down, hit their head on a rock or something.
Like for
get
3
disoriented.
months?
But if it's a really bad concussion and you like lose your memory for a chunk of time.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't recover that memory for a period of time, right? And you might think it's only been a few hours, but really it's been several days, right? It's like when we were watching that show earlier today and the girl woke up and they were like, oh yeah, you had a spill and like, you lost some memory. Like that happens, right?
Yeah.
So it's possible, but and then maybe when he was just disoriented, like seeing all those people and stuff, he was probably tripping balls.
Like, maybe.
You know?
Yeah. I want you actually to kind of watch an Indo horror to see.
Yeah. I want to.
It's not about the horror story or it's not about the ghosts, but kind of the myths and the belief why.
No, I'm very interested in that. I'm very interested in hearing about that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will not watch such movie myself.
Yeah, I know. You get pretty terrified.
Yeah.
It's like, hey babe, do you need to go pee? Are you asking me to walk you to the bathroom?
That's my hint.
Yeah.
That's my hint.
Yep.
Okay. So to summarize the story, a man goes to Mount Salak after a breakup. He believes he's gone for 5 hours. Or for 3 hours. His family says he was gone for 3 months, and there is no way to reconcile those two timelines. So maybe he got lost. Maybe his mind protected him.
Yeah, maybe something really traumatic happened, right? Like maybe he doesn't want to remember the time that he lost. People, develop these, these mental barriers for themselves when things are super traumatic, right? You talk about like recovered memories and stuff from childhood when people have like really serious abuse as a child, that, maybe, who knows, maybe he experienced something really, really horrifying that he doesn't want to remember. So his brain is like protecting him.
Yeah. Or maybe like this kind of story because the previous group of hikers also experienced the same thing. And then they share the story and people start visualizing this old woman, the story about maybe the sound from the traditional kingdom or the people who looks like knights, all that. So each one of the people who heard about the story, they kind of got the visualizations for who or what are there in the mountains and some kind of wild imaginations, I would say.
Yeah.
So people then, oh yeah. It's kind of like forming the belief because one says something and you listen to that and you also
you confirm that.
Yeah,
exactly.
So then, that's happened to me.
Well, we tend
so
to remember. Yeah, we remember the things too that conform to our beliefs, right? We do have those confirmation biases in our memories, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that is kind of like a unique story, I think.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you said like, oh, it's kind of like a horror, but not like a crime, and I'm like, God, okay, but there could be elements of crime. You never know, right? Like we could say that maybe he got attacked or he got something really traumatic happened to him. Or he got punished, and it wasn't actually spirits. It was people in the community that thought he was being disrespectful. Or like, who knows, right? So at least that's my explanation to stretch it into a crime. so that's what we're doing today, everyone. For Tell Me the Crime, stretching it to a crime. So thanks for listeing to episode 9 of Tell Me the Crime.
And next week we're gonna come back to Tell Me the Crime.
And we'll do a different crime, but this one will be very crime based, and it'll be gory.
Oh, have you found one?
No, I have no idea, but I'll make sure.
You can't promise people.
I'll do it. I can promise. Oh yeah, it'll be good.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you next week.